So I follow this account on Instagram called The Political Compass. He posted a meme about centrists, and so this somehow led to an actual anti-centrist and pro-centrist argument in the comments section. So I don't really know if I'm a centrist or not. I don't have an identity really. But I'm here today to defend centrism and respond to some of the anti-centrist arguments that I saw in the comments because I thought that they weren't too good and I have a way to counter them. Haha, XD. You're just mad you're not like me, unable to hold any serious convictions or beliefs, and have no actual ideology for guidance. I don't get what makes you think that centrists don't have any serious beliefs. Centrism isn't just about not caring about issues or compromising on everything. For example, if you have a right-wing view and another different left-wing view that is equally as far from the center, those two views average to the center. And this is with a mix of all kinds of different views from the political spectrum, from just all kinds of different views on all kinds of different subjects. Centrism is a mix of all kinds of beliefs from different ideologies in a way that does not show any sort of dedication to a particular ideology. Centrists have beliefs, but not just from one ideology or source. And saying that centrists have no ideology for guidance is a stupid claim to make. Guidance is the problem with ideologies. If you identify as a conservative, then you are more likely to side with conservatives on issues that you know little about, just because it's the conservative thing to do. You're much more likely to become angry at people who disagree with you, because they are not siding with your ideology. You will search for evidence that favors your viewpoint, rather than searching for evidence for the correct answer in general. I know that you think you have the correct answer, but this guidance makes you much more close-minded. Centrists have no real stance. You're thinking about centrism in the wrong way. Sure, some centrists might just take the middle ground on all issues, and that's not the way a lot of centrists think. Their viewpoints don't fit in with one specific ideology, and you're thinking that they don't have a dedication to any ideology, which would be correct, but you're making the incorrect assumption that they don't have any stances at all just because they don't conform to what is expected. For example, a Democrat or a Republican, or maybe just any ideology. Centrists are the bane of politics Centrists are the bane of politics and political debate. Look at me, I'm a normal person. Everyone who isn't a centrist is abnormal. Only I am right because I am unbiased. Most people with an ideology think that ideologies that don't agree with them are stupid, and people who aren't centrists will never mostly line up with the centrist in political views. A lot of centrists have a new way of thinking that you're making fun of. Don't side with a specific identity with a set of views because it makes you more prone to confirmation bias, aka the guidance mentioned earlier. In that case, they're much less biased and open-minded because they don't side with their ideology all the time, because they don't exactly have one. They have a viewpoint and have a balance of everything. It's unique to them. It isn't like a group or a confined set of beliefs. What is wrong with that way of thinking? Not all centrists have huge egos because of this mindset. They simply think that they are correct just like any other person who has political beliefs thinks. But this is apparently a crazy foreign way of thinking that challenges how mainstream politics work, and you're not willing to accept that. Centrism is a specific ideology, the ideology of the status quo. Okay, this is probably the most stupid comment in the bunch. Centrism is not an ideology with a confined set of beliefs. Two centrists could have exact opposite beliefs, but still both be centrists because their views average to the center. And do you know what the status quo is? Oh god. The status quo is being confined to an ideology or political party and sticking with their beliefs. The most common way to associate with beliefs is by assigning yourself to a Democrat or a Republican or an ideology. That is not centrism. If you are a centrist, you believe in compromise between two extremes, which leads to a very ineffective policy. You also have no principles aside from those you're told to have. You also most likely think you're superior to others and flaunt your political apathy openly. Gas the centrists before the commies, to be quite honest. As I've stated before, centrists do not always believe in compromise, they just have mixed views. And I think you're saying the exact opposite of the truth in the second sentence. People with ideologies or people who identify with a wing, like the right or left, are more likely to agree with their side regardless of the evidence. Not always, just more likely, especially with specific ideologies. Centrists aren't always open to just anything. They choose the best or most rational view they find in their subjective opinion. I'm not trying to say that all centrist views are superior to others. A lot of centrists are open-minded and willing to have their views challenged. Just because you're not doesn't mean centrists listen to anything told to them. And I have explained this next part previously. Centrists having big egos is just an assumption. Every person with political beliefs believes they're correct. The difference is that the people who you're criticizing have a different mindset than you, which is apparently unacceptable. We should all conform to political identities. I want to end by saying not all centrists have this idea that they hate ideologies and that you should be open-minded and willing to be challenged. Some centrists, I'm sure, firmly believe in their views, but happen to land in the center. But the mindset I spoke of in this video is common among centrists and is what a lot of the comments were criticizing. And I hope you all enjoyed the video because
we know got stacks on deck, spending every single dollar on some anime sex. You the booty be my motor for those anime breasts. Let me see you bend it over while I'm throwing on the checks. Yeah.